Hello everyone. This is a session of which you guys have chosen. It's a customer choice session, and actually I'm flattered that it is about developer community. So, and today we will tell you everything what you wanted to know about what we do to expand and enhance developers community. Actually, what we do for you guys. So the presenters today are Singh, who is product manager of developer experience, Reche, who is manager of Spanish community, developer community, and Evgeny, Shvarov, myself, manager of developer community and open exchange. Okay, Raj, would you like to start?
Sure.
Okay, so what we'll tell you about today. Okay.
Actually, go back to the agenda for a second.
Sure.
So I just want to say we're going to, structure this a little bit in. So I have a new role. Product manager for developer experience is new, and Evgeny being community manager, you might wonder what one person does and what one person doesn't do. We'll go through that a little bit, and then talk about new ways to learn, and then get into tools and get into the community, and hopefully have a lot of time left over to have a little bit of an open discussion prior to this evening's meetup. Sort of like a preview of the meetup where we can begin to talk about, get more synergy and exchange between us. So, going on the next slide, I would say, Evgeny is definitely the main interface with the community. My role is more on the product side. So if you have comments, maybe not flames, but try not to throw too many flames our way. But if you have concerns that are, involved with the evolution of the product features and things like that, that would be more in my realm. Building the community and doing things and demos and open source might be more in Evgeny's realm of sphere of influence. So I know developer tools are a hot topic. We end of life production or of new features on Studio and Atelier, but we have a lot of partners that have picked up the slack there. And as you saw this morning, we have an extension of Visual Studio Code from George James, and we have another one from Carrot Dev. And so I think developer tools is still an area which is very active and providing good resources for you all. Go on. So getting into learning, some of you, may be very experienced developers in terms of ObjectScript and the platform from that point of view. Just recently this year, we've released a lot of language support, and there's more to come in the future in terms of being able to not only get access to the native API through Python and Node.js, and I think even the access from Java and C# may be new to some of you, but also access through JDBC drivers, ODBC drivers, and even the document model. So there are a lot of new features available through new languages that you may want to try and kick the tires on. There's, as we talked about this morning, a lot of new ways to try IRIS. One is through intersystems.com/try, where you can get access to a set of containers. What we do for you, I'll go into a little bit more technical detail here than I did this morning. So we fire up two containers, one with IRIS on it and one with the Thea IDE, and which allows you to develop code right there in the browser in the Thea IDE and connect to that IRIS that's also been provisioned to you. But what you can also do there, which we didn't mention, is that IRIS instance on a container in the cloud is really completely standalone from the development environment we're also provisioning. So you could hook up to that IRIS container from your desktop development tools as well. And there are instructions in those readmes on how to do that. Gets into a little bit more detail so you can figure out how to do that. But that trial IRIS, we call it Developer Sandbox, is limited to 30 days. Actually, you can email us and get that extended to 90 days. But it's really sort of a throwaway environment so that you can test out exercises, try out code, and things like that. As more hardcore developers, you may be interested in a more perpetual way to, experiment with IRIS. And for that, we just recently, you may have missed the news, but in the last couple of weeks, we released a new version of the Community Edition of InterSystems IRIS, which is a perpetual license for developer use. Not for production use, but for developer use. You can install it in a number of ways. You can install it on your desktop. You can download you can install it through Docker. And I think you can definitely do it on AWS. I think we have currently, or in the next few weeks, support for all the major cloud providers to get that Community Edition of IRIS. And so that's pretty exciting too. So that, no time expiration, full-fledged version of IRIS with all the interoperability support and all the features.
Raj, let me comment on this. So previously we had IRIS community version on Docker. And if I properly understood, now we have the version which we can download and install, not in Docker, just on any desktop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the previous version of Community Edition was limited to 2 or 3 namespaces, which didn't allow you to install everything you needed to do to run some of the healthcare stuff, the fire libraries, things like that. All that has been relaxed, so that now you can do anything you can do on a full production platform, you can experiment with in the Community Edition.
And what about mapping? Class mapping, so...
Yeah, that's it. Back in, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. No, you tested already everything. Overall, the most latest releases. Thank you. Yeah.
So it's not completely production because you are limited to maybe 4 cores, but it's for development purposes, it's everything you would possibly need.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's my section. Getting started.intersystems.com is the place for the getting started documentation on those new languages. Supplements the existing documentation that you know and love, hopefully. But my main purpose here, just to end, know my name, call me anytime, get my business card, email, call. My job is to hear from you constantly, 24/7. As my first year in InterSystems, you cannot talk to me enough. I just want to, get to know our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we will have a Q&A session, and actually we can demo real how to use download and the getting status sites. Okay. Okay, I will tell you a bit what is the state of developer community today. So thank you again for this choice, for the choice of this session, right? And I'm not. The question to the audience: is there anyone who is not registered on developer community yet? It's very nice. So thank you. I like that. Okay, so clicker doesn't work. I think. It works. So, but again, I will tell what it is for. Actually, this is so great that we met here on Global Summit in person. Have everyday networking, sharing our experience, know new features. And actually, what developer community is for is to continue this conversation when you go home today in the evening on, and actually to have to let us continue sharing experience with InterSystems technology and asking questions, discussions. All this you can find on community.intersystems.com and now on 2 languages already. David will share this later. Okay, technical articles, Q&A, and recently what we did, we also introduced a few new services. They're not shown here on this screenshot because they're very fresh. But we introduced a special section for Java communities. So I mean, you will find this, and also a special highlight on events and
stay tuned. You will see a lot of developer events this year and so on. Okay. Maybe too far. Yeah, and if you're gonna ask how good is community, how broad is this, there are a few numbers to let you get some knowledge about that. Just maybe the most significant is that we have 6,000 registered members, and every month we are having 24,000 developers who comes to developers community, and this year we saw 2 million reads of articles and content on developers community. And also I want to pay your attention on videos. It's getting more and more popular, and to be honest, actually, content goes into video, right? In video form, and we are catching this trend and subscribe to our developers YouTube. We are having already 170 videos, and actually we are waiting for your videos, guys. So you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of tools. Please, you're very welcome to share it on our channel to let InterSystems Developer Community know about your solutions, know about your experience, discuss it, get feedback. It's very easy to find, so YouTube, InterSystems Developers, and you there. Yes, another service which we started last year is InterSystems Open Exchange, and guys, you all develop on InterSystems Developer Community platforms, IRIS, InterSystems IRIS, and IRIS for Health Share, and what we produce for you developers, we produce data platforms which we use to develop solutions, and actually sometimes we develop tools, and we want you to develop your solutions with best practices and faster. And one of the ways how you can reach this, for example, you develop, you often use in your solutions building blocks, something you already built with best practices with InterSystems IRIS, and you're using different tools. And actually, if you're looking for some building blocks, for some best practices, for tools, you might ask, okay, where can I find this? So yes, last year we introduced a service to cover these questions. You can find them building blocks, you can find solution frameworks, developer tools like John Marek was mentioned today on the keynotes. You can find all this stuff on Open Exchange, and you can consume it, download, and also you can submit your own, and actually even do the business if you develop some frameworks or tools with InterSystems technology or for InterSystems data platforms. InterSystems Open Exchange is a tool which will help to drive your business with InterSystems and be successful. Yeah. So and what's going on there in the last 10 months? So we already have about 3,000 users every month, and you submitted about 160 applications. And even this week we have maybe 170. Check it out. So, and here you can see what is the most popular so far. Okay, and I just tell you that we have also another service for you developers. It's Global Masters. It's actually, if you love InterSystems Press so much that you cannot spend the day without us, so please join InterSystems Global Masters, and we will suggest you the options how you can express your love to InterSystems. And actually, generally, different tasks to complete, like to learn some article, watch some video, pass the course, certification. And actually, it also tracks all the contributions to developers community and gives you points, which you can submit, which you can redeem for different rewards. And we are working hard on inventing new rewards, and actually we welcome you to suggest us ideas of good rewards for you, because this service is for you. Okay. Yes. And actually, if you're not a member of Global Masters today, please come to our table on Tech Exchange, and you can join there, and actually you can collect your badges. Maybe you saw the badges on participants of Global Summit this year. So we bring happiness, okay, with development and fun. Okay. We keep on working hard on introducing new services and for you developers. And what we did this year is a package manager. Actually, what's that? So when you develop some tool or some library, you also submit it with some documentation and instruction how to install it, like a 12 steps to install the application. Yes, but actually every time it's a routine. It can bring mistakes, and a lot of applications do not install just because of this. To be honest, what you expect from a library to be installed is just like to have one liner. Come on. And we introducing this for you, which is called InterSystems Package Manager, or ZPM, which can be easily installed with one step. And actually it's a client which gives you the opportunity to install all the packages which are submitted to the community repository in one line. Install package name, and it installs it. And And actually today on the meetup we will describe how you can use it, what types of packages it supports, and also how you can submit your own library, your own tool to community repository, and to let it be installed into any InterSystems IRIS data platform solution.
So would you say it's like npm install for ObjectScript? Exactly.
Yes. If you're familiar with what is package manager in developer's world, this is exactly that's what Raj said, like npm, but for InterSystems based systems build packages with ObjectScript or CSP application or web application, whatever. Come to today at Champions at 5:30 in the second floor, and we will do a demo and we will describe it. Please join. Okay, what else? You maybe know that GitHub.com is the most familiar place to host your code. And since this year we introduced the support of ObjectScript, now GitHub.com recognizes InterSystems ObjectScript. It highlights this code and actually it measures, and this measure is growing. Now I wish we will maybe outperform Python. Maybe not this year. Let's see. So actually, this is what you can do, guys. Actually, we in systems we cannot do it without you. So it's your contribution to GitHub, to open source with ObjectScript, and do the job. Okay. Yes, and another thing I think which can really help is actually when we develop, every time we want to develop fast, right? And we want to maybe have a pleasure of development, and actually we want to use best practices. And this year GitHub introduced GitHub templates. And we leverage this mechanism to actually introduce this particular approach, like fast, best practices, and maybe really having fun. So what does it mean? We started introducing to GitHub templates how to build comprehensive InterSystems IRIS applications and how to start with that. So there you can use one button and use our GitHub template, and you will have your own repository, your name with your account with GitHub, where is the whole environment with Docker, with if you want package manager, with the proper structure of classes, with the proper highlighting. So what you need to do is just clone this repository, your repository, and immediately you can develop, you can compile, and then submit, commit changes and push it to the GitHub. Simple like that. It could be a private repository, it could be public, whatever. And we introduced some simple server-side templates, and also just at this moment another session is about another template where Sergey Shutov describes how to use full stack application with the InterSystems IRIS, which includes server-side and front-end on Angular. So you, in one click, you immediately have application with a front end which you can tune, fix, use this part of that. So it's your application. So this is what GitHub gives. I mean, GitHub template is just leveraging this technology, but of course it's in the system side. Okay, and actually, of course, we cannot do anything for you without a strong team. And I'm gonna present you, and like not in person, but in photos. So who the InterSystems Developers Community team is Anastasia Degwarova. She is a content management and a social media specialist. You maybe met her here. Also David Reche. Please, he joined our team as a Spanish community manager, and also if you get your swag in the parcels from InterSystems with nice stuff you get from rewards from Global Masters. Actually, Julia Fedoseva is the person who packs this for you worldwide. Okay, and on the next slide, I want to introduce you our noble team of developer community moderators, and almost all of them are here on Global Summit. Some of them busy, some of them just here, and they are Edward Lebedew, Dmitry Maslenikov, Sean Connolly, John Murray, John, hello, Scott Roth, Jeff Drum, Jeff, Nancy Martinez, and Francisco Lopez as Spanish community moderators. Thank you guys, thank you for working hard to develop the community. You made it a busy place, very helpful place. Thank you. Okay, and now I will invite David, yes, to speak about Spanish community with us. Yeah.
You can help me maybe with the
Yeah, sure.
page. Hello everyone. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Bien.
And so everyone is talking Spanish. That's very good. Well, the first thing that's we was working from January trying to launch the Spanish community, and finally we launched the community in May. So right now we can switch to the community. So it was a really hard work to try to explain to the managers why we want to do that. It's true that I really still doubt about my own project, but it's the second language in the world. So we have a lot of people that can to this community and participate.
Actually, if you have difficulties,
Yeah.
this stuff could help us.
So one of the things is we are trying to attract new people to the community because we have 6,000 of developers. I'm sure that not the big part of this community is from all developers, right? So in order to attract new people, we need to do the things easier. So speak the same language is one of these. Okay, so this is go to the community, not the one. I mean, to the,
On the tab.
yeah, this is in Spanish.
Yes.
Go to the URL and change if you want.
The issue is that I don't see what's
Oh,
It's
Red Community.
community. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. You look at. Yeah.
that's the homepage of the community, and you can see that there is a switch there for treat the language, so we can go to the Spanish community. No, not all the articles of the international community are in the Spanish community. Only we select some articles to translate, and also the information, or I mean, any project or any post that any developer from Spain or Latin America that they want to add is going to be in this part, if they write in Spanish. The other thing that everyone can do is to translate. If you go to English, again, for example,
Okay. Sorry.
yeah, there are in any article, this is announcements, do an article, I think. Right?
good.
Yeah, I'm there. Okay.
Two more.
Much more. Yeah.
That one.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you go to any article, you have a, you can see a tab. Okay, you can switch to S. Okay,
You have to be
and, and you have the possibility to request.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, and you have the option to accept, I mean, to request the translation. And in order that the original author grant you, but then you can translate and put the post in the name of the author in the Spanish community. So it's the way that the people can translate and move articles for one place to another. If for Spanish to English is the same way, so we can publish in Spanish and then move to English. Okay, so regarding the thing that I was talking about, the new developers, how to engage new people and so on, you can go to the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
only to explain a bit. We are making great effort to promote the community for the Spanish people. So we have a landing page. Try to look for that.
Yes, I found that.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is it. Okay.
This is like the welcome page where any new member can go to understand what the community has. And it's not only, as you see, it's not only the article, it's also it's the open chain, the global master, and of course you can go to the social networks. Yeah, and we have also Facebook, LinkedIn, and the YouTube channel. Yeah, please click in the YouTube channel. That is also in Spanish. So, of course, like Evgeny said before, please send your videos. We are waiting for this nice video from you. You can go to the presentation right now, if you want. So we try to, as Ras explained before, that try to make the people increase the experience with our products, and the new people is, I mean, it's a hard way to understand all these things that we have. So in order to do more easy, go to the presentation. Oh, we have some videos for new people. This is the welcome video. Songs?
It was sound Should we press something here, no?
Sorry?
Technical help, do we have?
Some?
Yeah, can you start?
Sabemos que programar no consiste en pulsar teclas al azar nunca. Por eso has llegado al lugar adecuado. Bienvenido a la comunidad de desarrolladores de InterSystems en español. Aquí podrás aprender todo sobre los productos y la tecnología de InterSystems, además de crear lazos profesionales, conocer gente y divertirte. ¿Qué puedes hacer? Preguntar y responder, comentar, votar, escribir artículos, suscribirte a etiquetas o a otros miembros de la comunidad. También puedes utilizar el OpenStream de InterSystems para descargar extensiones y adaptadores y para subir tus propios desarrollos, todo de forma gratuita. Y por supuesto, participar tiene premio. Cada vez que participes en la comunidad, obtendrás puntos que podrás canjear por regalos en nuestra plataforma Global Master. Saldrás ganando, así que deja de buscar en internet la respuesta a tus preguntas y forma parte de una de las comunidades de desarrolladores más activas del mundo. Ya somos más de 6.000.
We are really new. I mean, from May, what we have done. So we have another video for a summary what we have done. This is with this is with subtitles. So you can go to the next one.
Hola developers, en mayo de 2019 InterSystems inauguró su nueva comunidad de desarrolladores en español. Pero, ¿qué hemos conseguido en todo este tiempo? Cada semana aumentan los miembros que comienzan a utilizar la comunidad provenientes de distintos países de habla hispana. Miles de usuarios interactúan una media de 6 minutos y medio en nuestra comunidad, mientras leen artículos, resuelven sus dudas y contactan con colegas del sector. Además, hemos abierto nuevos canales de comunicación para estar cada vez más cerca de ti. Un nuevo canal de YouTube con contenido totalmente en castellano. Nuevas redes sociales. Un nuevo newsletter. Y por fin, nuevos webinars en español con una gran acogida dentro de nuestros asistentes. Pequeños pasos, pero todos hacia adelante, que construyen relaciones sólidas entre desarrolladores alrededor de InterSystems.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, David. I think we have maybe 5-10 minutes for questions. So do you have any? We can discuss everything you want to discuss. Maybe some requests for developer community. You want to, or some new services, whatever you want to see.
I want better give.
That's a very tough question. But if you have any ideas how what gifts should be, Global Master have a special challenge, like a special task where you can submit what you want us to give away. And actually we are doing that. So some, not everything. Maybe some people asking for Tesla. Like for 1 million points, not better. We're thinking about that. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how do the developers split their time between their daily activities or time spent in the developer community? Or do you actually have developers assigned just to deal with the community?
That's a tough question, actually. I would say that I don't know if developers, if these people were so maybe not. But I can say that developers who have a lot of followers, who are popular on developer community, they are very successful practical engineers, and so they have either successful business behind, or maybe they are very successful sales engineers. So in order to contribute a valuable content to the developer community, you must be successful with InterSystems, developer solution with InterSystems. So it cannot be either this or that.
But was your question more about who develops developer community, the software, the
Well, no, just, you know, the answering of various questions that are posed to the community.
Yeah, that's a multi-level answer. There are people on Evgeny's staff who build the site and maintain the site and all. And the main way questions get answered are developers helping developers out there in the wild, I guess. And then there's another level. If questions don't get answered, Evgeny sends us an email every few days and says, hey, can people inside take a look at this? And so there's sort of like a level of triage. So we try to never leave a question unanswered. It might take a few days, but it eventually percolates up to, you know, the actual developers of the software inside the company.
Thanks, John.
I have to say that this is not WRC, but in order to the people try IRIS and try with the community version edition, then is the place where make questions.
Right. Okay, any more questions? Yes,
So do you have to be affiliated with an InterSystems client to post? Because one thing I was concerned about was like, if you want to post under a pseudonym, for example, is it possible to do that?
Post on
Under like you're not your real name. Let's say I don't want people.
Yeah, we have these guys like Sansa Stark on developer. I don't know if it's she or he, but she or he is asking really cruel questions. Yes, so you can. Yeah.
So
Yeah, or not to be rude, but I'm saying just let's say you don't want your colleagues or something to know if you ask very basic questions.
Yeah, it's possible, and what you can contribute to the developer community, everything which is related to InterSystems technology. So if it is not a spam, and if it's a valuable question,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's a helpful article, you're very welcome with any name.
but your account on developer community is in no way tied to your license, your product license.
No,
That's what.
Okay.
everybody is welcome.
Okay, great.
And it's about developer community, open exchange, global answers. So for all the services, you have one single sign-on. So it's registration on WRC as well. So it's one account. So any more questions? Actually, if not, we are waiting you on a meetup today at 5:30 to continue the conversation and also to check what your colleagues from developer community contributed so far with their tools. John Murray will have a presentation of his developer tool. And also welcome to developer community again. So see you there on community, on open exchange, and submit your package manager solutions and also YouTube videos. Yeah, cool. And I hope we will meet you in person in developer events, which we are going to start actively this year.